Sunday, some patchy fog early, a high in the upper 80s. Clear Tuesday night with a low in the mid 60s. Sunny on Wednesday with a high around 90.
Hey, sports fans, huddle up. It's time for the Pizza Hut Pigskin Report, a weekly football show with the high school head coaches at Danville, Boyle, Mercer, Garrett, and Lincoln counties, along with the Center College head coach and UK football coach. The Pigskin Report, brought to you by Pizza Hut in Harrodsburg. Earn free pizza with Hut Rewards. State Farm Insurance, here to help life go right. Whitaker Bank, uniquely Kentucky. Job Master Rental, let them help master your job. CC Auto Parts and Service, an Auto Value Certified Service Center. Now with the Pizza Hut Pigskin Report, here are your hosts, Rick Schobel and Joe Mathis.
And good evening from the Harrodsburg Pizza Hut, home of the 2 medium pizzas, 1 topping, $6.99 each. Well, Joe, we went 4-2 this week. It's the best week we've had in a while.
Yeah, best week we had in a while, but we also missed the chance to capitalize. We didn't have any area teams playing each other this week.
Right, so that's what got us messed up from the beginning of the season.
So the best we could have gone is 6-0 this week. We legitimately could have gone 6-0 because no area teams playing each other, but 4-2, we'll take it.
Yep.
Not bad.
Nope. UK, sluggish start. I don't know what their problem was. They finally woke up, and, I mean, Youngstown State's not that good.
Well, I mean, they're top 25 FCS, but
come on.
I'm not ever going to be upset with a shutout. It's the first shutout since, was it 2009? Is that right?
Yep.
So, I mean, 31-0 win, shutout
Finally,
win.
yeah,
It's
they
hard to be angry about a shutout.
Center College had a bye week.
Mm-hmm.
Lincoln finally gets a win.
Yeah.
Danville, 4 turnovers.
4 straight
4
possessions.
Touchdowns. Oh.
I mean, fumbling the ball is one thing, but to have 4 of them in a row and all 4 of them recovered by the defense.
And turned into touchdowns.
Every one of them.
28 points given away. Mercer was up against a tough Southwestern team. Garrett County got their first win.
Yeah. Congrats to Coach Crutchfield on that.
And Boyle County, 18th in a row, longest winning streak in the state.
And now 31-1 Coach Haddock's games.
Yep. All right, well, let's get started with UK Coach Stoops. Slow, sluggish start, only up 7-0 against a not real great Youngstown State team. But then finally Stoops' troops woke up with a 31-Squadouche win.
We did some really good things in certain phases, and obviously some things that continue to creep up and get a little bit aggravating, and things to get no panic button here, things we truly believe we will get fixed. We've been through this before, even as recent as last year, going through some ups and downs in the continuity, working with guys, down and on today with Tayshawn, and we'll continue to bring that unit along. It is aggravating to give up negative yardage plays consistently. We got to get that fixed and run the ball downhill. Big difference between 2nd and 8 or 2nd and 7 or 2nd and 6 or 2nd and 12 or 13 as we move forward with the teams that we're going to play. Outstanding effort by our defense. Again, Coach White, that whole unit defensively played outstanding all game. Really, just think of one play. That was a well-designed setup with the screen and hit it for a good explosive play. Cut it down and hitting a good play, and then we responded with getting the interception to stop them from scoring. So anytime you shut anybody out, obviously it's a really good effort and a big deal. And I credit our coaches and our players for playing a complete game. Again, I think offensively, Will did some really good things. There's a few plays here and there that he wishes he could have over, maybe not his best. We got to play better around him, and it starts with being physical, moving the line of scrimmage and running the ball downhill. You saw it again at times today, just too much inconsistency, and that's the bottom line. I think offensively, just inconsistent. So we'll continue to work on it and address it, and I'm confident we will continue to improve and get it ironed out.
Coach, tell us how the emotions were with your family and friends around you.
Yeah, to be honest with you, at that point and really kind of getting ready for the game, I really appreciate that, and the administration and doing that acknowledgement and having my mother there and my brother Bob and all my sisters, my brothers, everybody, it was really nice, and my boy. It was fun, and I'm glad it's all behind us now. really, concentrate and move on to the next games. But great weekend, great day. Really appreciative that my whole family got here and was here to share in that. It's been a fun weekend.
Coach, are you pleased with the growth of your secondary since the beginning of camp to this point?
I've been commenting on them. You've been following me from the beginning of camp, and I felt we were a better unit this year. I felt like we added some depth. We got some length. Some guys got older. Carrington, year older, brought in Keydron, and so Zion's doing some good things. Jordan's really playing at a high level, and so, we're getting better.
That's UK head coach Mark Stoops. Cats are 3-0. They have Northern Illinois.
Oh, boy, another powerhouse.
Which I believe is where Tony Romo went to college, right? Or was that Eastern Illinois? I know Northern Illinois has a couple of NFL players that went there, but, they actually lost to Vanderbilt on Saturday by a couple of scores. So UK should be able to, theoretically take care of business, and hopefully they do, and that sets them up for that Ole Miss game, which is going to be a big challenge.
And Rodriguez will be back, too, for that game.
And more than likely, both teams are going to be, again, assuming Kentucky wins, but both teams may be unbeaten going into that game, and a top 25 matchup there at Ole Miss on a Saturday that's actually announced that kickoff is 12 noon in a couple of weeks. So should be a fun game there at Ole Miss. We'll step aside. We'll come back. We got more college football talk with Center College head football coach Andy Fry, and then we'll hop into the high school ranks with Lincoln County head football coach Josh Shaggers. We are live with Radio Rick and Super Dave and Teresa, and Tim Biggs is on his way, and we are eating pizza. The 2 for $6.99, 2 medium one-topping pizzas. I got the hamburger thin crust. Rick got the bacon thin crust today. And you can get the one-topping thin crust, $6.99 each at the Harrisburg Pizza Hut for the deal of the day for the Pizza Hut Pigskin Report. Live on 103.9 FM WHIR, 99.5 FM WHBN, and hometownlive.net.
Saturday night.
Touchdown! Touchdown! Kentucky!
Coach Stoops and the Cats play under the lights against a foe from the MAC.
Let's go!
Northern Illinois Huskies and your Kentucky Wildcats.
The pregame show starts this Saturday evening at 5 with kickoff at 7.
It's all right here on your home for the Cats and the hits is WRNZ FM D105.
Great. See, we're practically sitting on the field. If you could sit here.
Your food and drinks will be right over.
Oh, yes! For the same price as way up here. Great seats. Right up here with a blimp. Why wouldn't you? It's the same with auto insurance. With discounts up to 40%, it's possible to get the personal service of a State Farm agent for the same or less than those other guys.
See your State Farm agent in Harrisburg, David Hopewell, and Randy Couch. In Danville, see Bob Miller.
Big deals. 1, 2, 3. Oh, hi, Jenny here. Just counting all the dollars I saved at my local Big Deals online store. What? You haven't saved yet? Get on it. You'll love the great selection of gift certificates at discount prices. They make great gifts, too. And you can shop right from your phone. Nothing satisfies like counting all those savings. Now let me get back to it. 6, 7, 8.
Go to hometownlive.net to shop and save at the Big Deals online store. You can also find links to download the free Big Deals Media app for your phone. Works on Apple and Android cells. Shop quickly and access all your mobile Big Deal certificates easily for redemption. You can also easily send a mobile certificate to someone else to use via email. Check it out and join the thousands that save with Big Deal certificates to local businesses.
Shop and save with Big Deals at hometownlive.net. That's hometownlive.net.
The Big Dinner Box from Pizza Hut. 2 pizzas, breadsticks, and boneless wings or pasta, all in one box. Heck, swap in a third pizza if you want. It's your world. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Additional charge for more than one topping. Product availability, prices, and delivery areas, minimums, and fees vary. Delivery charge not a tip.
Hey, this is Matt from Job Master Rental. Most of us may have some weekend free time, so when you find yourself looking at a home project, come see us at Job Master. We'll get you the right tool for any job. We can help you tackle home improvement projects to major construction and everything in between. Take advantage of our weekend special. 1-day rental from 3 p.m. on Friday to 8 a.m. on Monday morning. From all of us at Job Master, go Rebs, visit us at jobmasterrental.com. We have 2 convenient locations in Danville and Lebanon. Let us help master your job.
Whitaker Bank is dedicated to providing exceptional banking experiences to our fellow Kentuckians. We live in the communities we serve, and we work diligently to serve the needs of our neighbors. This is Rita McIntyre, head teller and branch manager of the South Branch located at 928 South College Street in Harrodsburg. Stop in and let us put our experience and customer service to work for you. Whitaker Bank is uniquely Kentucky, member FDIC.
This is the Pizza Hut Pigskin Report. And now, back to the show.
And welcome back to the Harrodsburg Pizza Hut. You get the 2 one-topping medium pizzas, $6.99 each. You come in and take it home, or you can sit in here and eat it. 734-5143 if you want to call ahead, 734-5143. All right, let's finish up with college football with Center College Coach Fry. You had a bye week. You worked on the Colonels last week. Did the week off help your walking wounded?
Definitely helped our walking wounded. You know, people don't realize that by the second week where we are, this is really at the halfway point of our season, you know, with all the practices in the preseason compared to what you have left. That was very good. And then the second thing we got to do was really concentrate on our fundamentals, that we, you know, just cleaning up your technique mistakes, the fundamentals of your position. So the emphasis was really more so on the fundamentals of playing college football, you know, blocking, tackling. I mean, we didn't tackle. We did scrimmage Thursday. You know, we went 15 minutes live, you know, first group against first group and second group against second group. Other than that, I mean, it's now I hope we're a little bit better in those things, and now we're preparing for trying.
You know, people, I think the average fan, Coach, doesn't realize, you know, how much practice needs to go on. Like they think, they had spring and summer practice or whatever, you know, they should be, you know, good to go. But that's why you have the film to look at each week to make sure your guys are lined up right and how they react to the plays they were supposed to react to.
Yeah, people don't realize that, you know, during the week, every morning, probably from 7:30 to 9:30, 10 o'clock, you're watching your practice video, because your practice video is what you can teach off of. And, you know, that's where you can help these student athletes get better at their fundamentals, and then also an opportunity to see how certain schemes work against certain plays and vice versa. So, you know, people don't realize how much prep time it takes to put on a practice, just a practice. Now, the practice is obviously preparing for the game. You spend 3 days, you know, all morning and partially in the afternoon just prepping for the game through practice prep. That's just the reality of the game today.
Most high school football coaches would say this, and I'm curious to see what your reaction is. They say you practice the way you play in a game. Do you believe in that?
Well, yeah, I don't think there's any question. I think you have to have your athletes believe that, because if they don't, they're not going to practice real hard. I mean, you better practice well. You know, the sad thing about high school and college, you know, high school doesn't have a lot of time. You know, I mean, these young men are at school 6-7 hours. The coaches are usually teaching, you know, where we can do all our breakdown while they're teaching history classes. We're breaking our film down. We're kind of getting to the whole point. Like I've always said, our job is to teach and motivate what we teach, and their job, these ball players, are to prepare and perform. Well, the preparation for them is completely different in the college game versus the high school game. You got to remember, they're only in class for 12 to 14 hours a week. Now, there's obviously a lot of time in regards to your studies and your writing papers, but think about it. They're in class for 12 to 13 hours.
Yeah. Where
the high school kids are in class for 35 hours a week. And they still have homework, and they still have other things they have to do. And high school coaches have another responsibility. So, and that's why the college game is completely different than the high school game.
Now, you got to go to Trine on Saturday. Tell us what you know about their offense.
They have two real good quarterbacks. I think their senior quarterback I really like. He's, they run him a lot, and he can make plays with his feet. They've got great speed. They're real big up front. I mean, they're 6'3", 6'4". They're 280. I mean, they look like a Division I line. Now they're good. They're not a Division I. I mean, they don't move as well as, but they're big and they get in your way. I mean, I think that's one thing that helps their quarterback. They run a lot of run-pass option with the quarterback, and he can make plays with it, and he's got good wide receivers that catch the football. I mean, they go for the ball. Yeah, I'm really impressed with Trine. They're good. They're definitely going to be one of the best teams we play.
What are they going to try to do to you defensively?
They like to heat it up, but they'll do a 30, 40. They're always going to have 7 people in the box. Now, where the seventh man comes from, he may come from a safety, he may come from an outside linebacker, he may come from the rover, but they're going to make sure that they're all gap sound, and they're going to have 7 people in the box. So there's going to be times where where they catch you. You don't have a hat for hat. You got one guy that's out there, and you're not blocking him. Now you got to exploit that. You can't let them stay in there and trade punches especially when you've got one hand tied behind your back. I mean, when you keep 7 people in the box, and then they probably over 30%. I think we broke it down to it's 33% of the time they will bring heat. Now how many? They may bring 5, they may bring 6, but there's always going to be someone coming. So you gotta account for it.
Special teams a concern?
Yeah, they've got a really good field goal kicker. I mean, he launched a 50-yarder, just barely missed it, but it was a 50-yard field goal, and I was impressed with that. So obviously, if they get in 4-down territory, they feel like they can come away with some points, and that's a good thing to have.
Last question, Coach. What is it going to take for Center College to come back 3-0 after a victory at Trine?
Like you always say, it's mistakes. You can't turn the ball over. I mean, when you're playing a good football team, a turnover could crush you. And then playing clean, penalties are going to have a bearing. They have more of a bearing when you're playing a really good football team. If you get a 5-yard penalty, and all of a sudden now it's 3rd and 8 instead of 3rd and 3. That changes your play calling on both sides, and it's just those things. And really good football teams, when they both play each other, it always comes down to those type of situations. Playing clean, playing fundamental, being sound. Don't do stupid things like personal fouls or unsportsmanlike. I mean, those things set up scores.
That's Center College head football coach Andy Fry. The Colonels are back in action on Saturday. Let's go from college to the high school ranks with Lincoln County and Coach Josh Jaggers. Coach, the offense scored 49 points, the most for your team all year, and played great in your first win.
Yes, it was. It was one of those nights where, we've kind of gone into it every week and plan on doing the same, the rest of the year, just taking what they give us. And we felt like we kind of owned or had the better part of some matchups up front, being able to pound the rock, and that's what we were able to do, and do it a little bit, but when we did, we made it count, and we just took advantage of what we felt like we could do best the other night. That was a ground game, and it was kind of a rush by committee type night, truth be told.
Coach, it's hard to argue against the defense either when you give up negative 23 rushing yards on the ground.
Yeah, I'm real proud of those guys, and they've just kept getting better. Anytime you replace them, it's like everything with either side of the ball, but probably even more so defensively than it is, offensively. Just getting those guys more in-game experience and just getting them to understand and trusting, just, do your job. I know it's said an awful lot nowadays, but it's true. Just do your job, read your keys, be your piece of this puzzle, and just let the rest take care of itself. And those guys, I had a great week of practice. We've had 2 really good weeks of practice, even the Bell County week. And then last week, it was the same way. And those guys, I'm happy for them because they've got to see some good things happen. Yeah, I'm really proud of our defense. I mean, they played absolutely lights out. And the thing about East Jessamine, I mean, their schedule hasn't been Cupcake City either. I mean, they lost to Dunbar, who I think Dunbar is, played Scott County, Frederick Douglass, Madison Central, Woodford County. They've been beaten by a 5-0 Great Crossings team. Shelby County's got a winning record. Rockcastle County's got a winning record. So it's not like they've been playing Sisters of the Poor either. So I was just really proud of how we just kind of came out. And, I don't know about dominated, but it's the closest thing to what we've played as far as dominant football goes. So I'm happy for that.
Yeah, dominant on the defensive side. Yeah, I understand where you get the negative 23 rush yards from. I'm looking at the stats, Coach. 10 tackles for loss. 7 of those are sacks. So you all were in the backfield all night.
Yeah, we were. They, Jediah Henry and those guys up front, Zane Mullins, Hunter Hanley, and then our linebacker crew did a great job of just doing what they were supposed to do. And if you're the guy getting in on the tackle, great. If you're the guy that's doing your job to set up others to get the tackle, then even better. So that's kind of what we've really been preaching is just do your job and read, react, and do what your reads are telling you to do. And instead of worrying about, a lot of times kids, they get caught up in just making tackles, because of that whole stat thing and whatnot. And that's not always the most important thing. If it presents itself to you to be able to make a tackle, then great. But other than that, just do your job and trust your buddies that they're going to do theirs and let the rest take care of itself.
You also, Coach, had what I believe is your first special teams touchdown of the season. Connor Davis took a punt back for a touchdown.
Yeah, he did. I'm really happy for Connor. He, going back there and catching and returning punts is probably one of the hardest jobs that there is. And probably the single hardest job that there is on a Friday night or even Saturdays or even on Sunday. You're down there and you got to catch this thing and you got 11 guys coming down there to rip your head off. And it was a big night all around in all three phases. But, yeah, I was glad to see Connor, take that to the house because that always sparks you anytime you can get a special teams return for 6.
You got Southwestern now, Coach. Jason Foley, the head man there at Southwestern. This is a team, looks like they love to run the football. 20 rushing touchdowns already through their first 4 games of the season.
Yeah, they as far as offensive style, it's almost kind of like we're playing ourselves. They'll spread you out and try to run it, and they'll throw it and take their shots when they can. But then, also they'll get in the bone and 3-back sets and kind of go at you from there while keeping everything the same schematically up front. Whether you're in the gun or under center. But, yeah, Coach Foley's done a great job down there. Of course, that's always been a really good program. And these last few years they've been flying high, and they're doing the same thing this year. I mean, when things are clicking for them, they look extremely dominant. And they come off the ball, big, just physical, good-looking kids with good speed. And, defensively, they do a great job as well. I mean, they went up to Simon Kenton 2 weeks ago and gave 6A Simon Kenton all they wanted and then some, obviously, in the win up there. So we got our hands full, but it's without question another challenge that I know our boys are going to be up for.
What's the keys to making it 2 in a row then over Southwestern?
Yeah, I mean, same as last week. Controlling the line of scrimmage, winning the special teams battle. I think we either went 50-50 or we maybe won the turnover battle the other night. I can't remember either one. I know we threw a pick, and then I know we got 1 fumble recovery, maybe 2. But that's going to be the biggest key is the point of attack in against Southwestern. Very much like Bell County, but they're very Bell, Casey, Pulaski-esque. It would be a way to kind of combine all 3 of them as far as from terms of what they do schematically to their personnel. But yeah, if we can keep progressing offensively and take last week's defensive efforts with the stops that we got. I mean, they're going to make big plays. They're a good football team. It's just going to be one of those games we got to make more than they do. That was the kind of the message the other night, after we beat East Jessamine and talking about Southwestern. We just got to keep on doing that. Other people Dad used to say, and he still says, other people on scholarship too, meaning that they're good players and they work hard and they practice and all that, and they're going to make plays. So Southwestern's going to do that. We just got to make more than them. But, yeah, we're winning up front, turnover battle. Field position was key the other night. I think that's one of the most underrated aspects of high school football is your starting field position and your opponent's starting field position. So if we can do those few things, I like our chances. I really do. These guys are ready to fight. They're ready to battle, and they're battle tested. And one thing for sure, nothing going to scare them.
27, Joe. All right, and that was Lincoln coach Josh Jaggers, the big win for Lincoln County.
Yeah.
And you get a big win here at the Harrodsburg Pizza Hut, a large 3-topping pizza, $11.99, or a large 5-topping pizza, $13.99. 734-5143 if you want to swoop by and pick it up. 734-5143. We're going to take another timeout right here. When we come back, we'll have Danville head coach Peach, Mercer County head coach East. You're getting it on the Harrodsburg Pizza Hut Pigskin Report, and you are getting it on 99.5 FM WHBN, 103.9 FM WHIR, and streaming live at hometownlive.net.
CC Auto Parts and Service.
CC Auto Parts and Service is open for your service and parts needs. CC Auto Parts and Service are offering pickup and delivery for all your auto repairs as well as parts. They have a pay over the phone option if needed. CC Auto Parts and Service are concerned for everyone's well-being and are doing their best at keeping a sanitary and healthy environment. Give them a call at 734-9515.
CC Auto Parts and Service. Service is the difference. We get it.
This is Jesse Johnson, Senior Vice President of Whitaker Bank's newest branch, located in downtown Danville at 218 West Main Street. Whatever your banking needs, Whitaker Bank is here to help. Give us a call at 859-236-9822 to discuss your options and let us put our experience and customer service to work. We look forward to speaking with you. Whitaker Bank is uniquely Kentucky, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Great. See, we're practically sitting on the field. If you could sit here.
Your food and drinks will be right over.
Oh, yes! For the same price as way up here. Great seats. Right up here with a blimp. Why wouldn't you? It's the same with auto insurance. With discounts up to 40%, it's possible to get the personal service of a State Farm agent for the same or less than those other guys.
See your State Farm agent in Harrodsburg, David Hopewell, and Randy Couch. In Danville, see Bob Miller.
Ever notice how happy a bird looks perched on your power line? The reason the bird can sit on the power line is that he isn't touching the ground or any other grounded object. We, on the other hand, can't afford to be so carefree. So when you're working outside, the folks at your local electric cooperative remind you to avoid power lines. Always look up and to all sides before hoisting metal ladders and tree pruners into position. We're Kentucky's electric cooperatives, and our power is our people.
Intercounty Energy, a Touchstone Energy cooperative.
This is the Pizza Hut Pigskin Report. And now, back to the show.
We're live at the Harrodsburg Pizza Hut, home of the large 3-topping for $11.99, large 5-topping for $13.99. 734-5143 is the phone number, or you can be like Super Dave and get a barbecue boneless wing sandwich, which looked really good. And come on out and have dinner with us and talk some high school football as we hop back into the conversations with Danville head football coach Mark Peach. And Coach Peach, the result wasn't what you wanted, but you started off as good as you could have wanted.
No, I thought, for 2 quarters, maybe the first 4 minutes of the third quarter, it was probably the best football we played all season, to be honest, Joe. But, unfortunately, we didn't, keep playing like we did, early. And certainly the turnovers played a huge factor. I think we had 4 straight there in the second half, and it got Atherton back in the game. And anyway, hopefully we can learn from that because district plays right around the corner.
Yeah, that second half even started off good for you as well. You mentioned the first 2.5 quarters of that game. I mean, you all lead 21-7, and then the turnovers hurt, but it's almost like a light turned on for Atherton as well. They realized, look, we're down 2 touchdowns. We have a chance to get back in this game, and momentum slowly started creeping on their side.
Well, they won 6 games last year and won a playoff game for the first time in school history. This is Coach White's 4th year. Usually in a rebuild, that 3rd and 4th year, you start turning the corner. And we certainly knew, that they were very formidable. They played Country Day extremely tough, who were state runner-up in Class A just a couple of years ago. And, personnel-wise, they really had a nice group. So, but, hey, listen, it's if that was the last game, that would certainly be disappointing. But we can learn from it. District plays right around the corner. Everything's wide open right now, So in terms of district plays, we have to focus on that.
Coach, how often do you all work and practice on hanging on to the football? Because it seems like something you could work on, but you never really know going into a Friday how a player's going to get hit or a ball dislodged or something like that. Because, it just seems odd. 4 straight turnovers. I've never seen that. And then Atherton recovers all 4 of them at the same time.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing. We fumbled 4 and lost all 4. And but everybody kind of took a turn. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't, sometimes it can be one, particular player just can't get a handle on it. But it seemed like we all took our turn on it. In the second half, Joe, if we just would have not gained the first down but punted every time, we still would have been in better position to win the football game, you know what I'm saying, than doing the turnovers the way we did. So, listen, we got a bye week this week. We'll work on some things. We'll work on ball security every week. We'll do it again. And, then we got one more non-district game. We go to Bullitt East before we get into district play. So, listen, district play is almost upon us here. So, hopefully we can, add on what we did really well the other night like we did the first 2 quarters.
Coach, defensively for you all, again, the first 2.5 quarters went really well. Xavier Brown continues to pace the team in tackles. He had 2 tackles for loss. Richard Norris is a fast player at that outside linebacker spot. He had a couple of tackles for loss. So defensively, again, for 2.5 quarters, the effort was there as the game went on. Not that the effort wasn't there, but it looked like the guys were just gassed and exhausted.
And 2, we just, listen, we give up some big plays, and hats off to Atherton on, converting some things, there was a key third down under the quarterback was able to scramble and get a first down. They hit a reverse pass, hit another bomb, and hit a screen where we just didn't really, come up and make a tackle. We had 3 guys out there that only had 2 blockers, but, we just couldn't come up and tackle 10. He was one of their better players. We knew that going in. He certainly had a good night. But anyway, hopefully these are all things that, we can just work on, correct, and try and get better at.
Yeah, you got Somerset coming up in a couple of weeks. The KHSAA just released the RPI for all the classes as well, and we talked before the Atherton game about how big that would have been for the RPI because they were a 5A school, but, stuff kind of resets after this bye week. You got one more non-district game in Bullitt East, then you focus on Somerset, Washington County, and LCA. So what do you do in practice this week, Coach, and what's the schedule look like with the bye week?
Yeah, we're going to give the guys off today and Friday. That's how they do bye weeks, and then we'll work out Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And, we'll certainly work on some things in preparation for our next opponent. But also it's a nice time to work on some basic fundamentals, blocking and tackling and those type of things. So, and hopefully, just get refreshed, regrouped, heal up a little bit, getting ready to go into the second half of the season.
Yeah, that game, not this Friday, but the following Friday, looks like a really good Bullitt East school. Of course, we saw them come to Admiral Stadium last year. They have a really good quarterback in Travis Egan and a rookie head coach in Keegan Kendrick, who was a former Boyle County player, so kind of a connection there in the area.
Well, he was their offensive coordinator last year, so, there's a lot of continuity with he and, their football team, and they're outstanding, just like they were last year. I think that the running back, 23, is very underrated. He could be the best football player overall on their football team. So we'll have our work cut out for us, but it'd be a good road test for us going into district play.
And that was Danville head coach Peach. Let's switch over across the county line, go over to Mercer County. Coach Yeast, tough game against a tough team, losing to Southwestern 35-13.
Yeah, they just executed better than we did. At the end of the day, when it came down to overall execution and just making plays in critical situations, they executed better, made more plays in critical situations, and they came out on top. They're a good football team.
When you make a couple mistakes, you can't do that against some of these big schools that you're playing.
It's one of those things where if you go out and you play the way you're capable of playing, you execute, you're always going to give yourself a chance to win. And we just made too many mistakes. and we really need to correct those mistakes. And when we're playing against these teams, they're good. They're very well coached. They're big, strong, and they have good athletes. And it's hard to beat a good football team that's coached well, plays sound, fundamental, disciplined football when you're making mistakes. So we just got to clean some things up and so that we can give ourselves a chance to win.
How did you come out health-wise after the game?
For the most part, we're fairly healthy. We pretty much got everybody. Hopefully we'll get everybody back this week. That remains to be seen. We've had about 4 or 5 of our starters out over this last week due to illness and injury. We're hoping to get everybody back this week and be at full strength, but still remains to be seen. We'll see how it goes day to day throughout the rest of the week.
Wow, that's a tall order when you got that many starters out. That makes it tougher. But the guys stepping up, they get more playing time, so maybe down the road they can help you a little more too.
Well, that's what we're hoping. We're hoping that we gain some valuable experience throughout this whole process and see where it goes from there.
The good news is, Coach, wipe up records away. Everybody is 0-0 going into the districts, and you've got Christian Academy of Louisville, who is 5-0, and they are a perennial tough team. What concerns you about their offense?
They are fast. I think overall this could very well be the fastest overall team speed offense that we have played against. They got a lot of playmakers. They got a really good offensive line, but most importantly, I think they have one of the best quarterbacks in the state. He's a real deal. He's a really good football player, and he really makes them go.
Can he run as well as throw?
He can do it all.
Wow. But, Coach, what can you do to try to neutralize speed like that?
We got to do our job, and we have to tackle. There's really nothing else that we can do. Do our job in the secondary. Got to get a little pressure on him. Got to stay disciplined in our pass rush lanes. And then we have to tackle. If we can do those things, we're going to give ourselves a chance. But if we can't do those things, it's going to be a long day for us.
What do you think they're liable to throw at you defensively?
They're a 3-4 defense, and they line up, and they read their keys well. They run hard to the football, and they're going to play sound, fundamental football. And they're good at what they do, and that's pretty much what they're going to do. And they're really good secondary. They have good up front, and their linebackers run very, very well to the ball.
Now, when we talk about special teams, when you mention the word speed, that has got to be a big concern because of the fact of punt returns and kickoff returns that the guys got to keep the lanes and try to keep angles on the runners.
Yeah, one of the things that I really like the most is that we have some really good kickers. So hopefully we can place the ball in some positions where we can keep it away from their returners and give ourselves a chance to play the next play after we punt or kick every single time.
You know, Coach, I don't think people realize how hard it is to try to angle the kick but keep it in bounds because you don't want the penalty for that.
No, you don't want a penalty for it, but the unfortunate thing is sometimes those things do happen.
What's the keys? Last question, Coach, to a victory over Christian Academy of Louisville on Friday night at home?
We got to execute. We got to play our best football game. Can't turn it over. Got to find a way to turn the game in our favor via turnovers or just getting stops and making them drive the football field. So we got to play really, really hard. We can't turn it over. We got to execute on offense. We got to get off the field on third down. Go Titans.
And that was Mercer coach Yeast. You're getting it at the Harrodsburg Pizza Hut Pigskin Report. You can get the large 3-topping pizza, $11.99, large 5-topping, $13.99. 734-5143, 734-5143 is the phone number because you've got to put an 859 in front of it. We've got 2 coaches left. We got Garrett Coach Crutchfield and Bull Coach Haddix. They're upcoming right here on 103.9 FM WHIR. 99.5 FM WHBN, and streaming live on the World Wide Web at hometownlive.net.
Is your vehicle in need of maintenance or repair? Perhaps you work a full-time job, have kids to run here and there, and can't be without your vehicle for days. We at CC Auto understand. We offer free pickup and delivery and same-day service on most all repairs. Let us take some of the load off your shoulders. Call CC Auto now at 734-9515. 734-9515.
CC Auto Parts and Service. Service is the difference. We get it.
Pizza Hut's stuffed crust is the crust that made crust good, topped and stuffed with over a half pound of cheese. What are you so afraid of? Loving it? Original stuffed crust, only from Pizza Hut. Ask or click for a limited time offer. Extra charge for more than one topping and extra cheese.
This is Jason Tyler, loan officer at Whitaker Bank in Harrodsburg. Communication is key. That has always been my motto. Communicating with my customers, finding the best rate, and keeping my customer informed during the entire loan process is something that you can count on. Call me today at 859-734-3316 and let Whitaker Bank help you with your lending needs. Whitaker Bank is uniquely Kentucky, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
Hey, this is Matt from Job Master Rental. Most of us may have some weekend free time, so when you find yourself looking at a home project, come see us at Job Master. We'll get you the right tool for any job. We can help you tackle home improvement projects to major construction and everything in between. Take advantage of our weekend special, 1-day rental from 3 p.m. on Friday to 8 a.m. on Monday morning. From all of us at Job Master, go Rebs. Visit us at jobmasterrental.com. We have 2 convenient locations in Danville and Lebanon. Let us help master your job.
If you use electric appliances in the bathroom, garage, or outdoors, any place where moisture is present, you need a GFCI. The folks at your local electric cooperative want you to know that a GFCI, or ground fault circuit interrupter, will help you use those appliances safely by protecting you from electrical shocks. If you'd like to learn more about GFCIs, call your local electric cooperative. We're Kentucky's electric cooperatives, and our power is our people.
Intercounty Energy, a Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Saturday night. Touchdown! Touchdown! Kentucky! Coach Stoops and the Cats play under the lights against a foe from the MAC. Let's go! Northern Illinois Huskies and your Kentucky Wildcats.
The pregame show starts this Saturday evening at 5 with kickoff at 7.
It's all right here on your home for the Cats and the hits is WRNZ FM D105.
This is the Pizza Hut Pigskin Report. And now, back to the show.
Live here at the Harrisburg Pizza Hut, home of the large 3-topping for $11.99, the large 5-topping for $13.99, or you can get the sandwich like Super Dave got, that honey barbecue sub sandwich they have here at the Harrisburg Pizza Hut. 734-5143 is the phone number, 734-5143 to call your orders ahead and pick that up and come in and talk some high school football with us. Garrett County head football coach Spencer Crutchfield joins us now. And Coach, your Golden Lions scored the most points of the season with a 49-20 whopping of Anderson County.
Yeah, we did pretty well, Joe. We getting some guys back, getting some guys healthy, like you said, getting Cam back and getting Mason back this week up front. And, definitely helped us out. Cam brings a different dimension to our offense. He's one of those guys that can go, take it the distance at any moment. And, that takes some pressure off of Malachi as well, and also takes some pressure off of Justin in the quarterback position. So I'm definitely proud of the guys and thought we came out and executed well. Now we just got to continue to build on that.
Yeah, Justin played pretty well at the quarterback spot, second most passing yards he's thrown for this season. He threw for 81, went 5 for 5, so you're able to mix in the pass, some passes in there with a run, threw a touchdown to Hayden Elliman. So, overall, passing game looked pretty well too.
Yeah, I mean, Justin's growing, each day and doesn't have a lot of experience. He's gaining the experience and came out, and going 5 for 5 is huge. Didn't make any, didn't force anything and just took what was open and, had a big touchdown throw for us as well. So proud of him and his progression he's making through the year.
Had 7 tackles for loss on the defensive side, Coach, and you had Chandler Payne who picked off 2 passes. You gave up 20 points, but the defense came up big for you, forced a couple of turnovers.
Yeah, defensively, our defense it's definitely been ahead of the offense all year. And, those guys are taking advantage of every opportunity, that they have and trying to make big plays and making, causing turnovers and causing negative plays. And that definitely played into our favor, because Anderson County likes to run the football. So, getting some negative plays early definitely helped our defense out.
Coach, one main difference between this Garrett County squad this year and the ones we've seen in the past is the utilization of a kicker, and you've got a guy in Zach Daly who went 7 for 7 in extra points.
Yeah, Zach's a soccer guy that we convinced to come out and kick for us, and those points are huge, and those can play, to win or lose your football game. So definitely, Zach didn't have any experience coming in this year, and he's kind of taken on the job and, made it his own, and definitely growing each day as well and getting more and more experience. So definitely proud of Zach, and I feel like, he may have an opportunity with his leg and the way he's developed already, to go on and play college football if that's what he wants to do.
Yeah, big-time stuff. And speaking of big-time, you got a big-time game on, I guess it's next Friday. You don't play this Friday. You're on a bye week this Friday, but you prepare now as you go into district play with a bye week this week, Coach. So how do you handle this week's preparation with McCreary Central around the corner next Friday?
Well, we're going to just attack this week like we have any other week. We're going to worry about us. We're going to check our fundamentals and get back to being as fundamental as possible on both sides of the football, blocking and tackling and taking care of the football. That's what it comes down to, no matter who you're playing. So we're going to worry about us and just make sure we're covering all of our bases and working to get better day in, day out, and just treat it like any other week.
I know that some coaches treat the bye week differently. Some coaches like it in this spot before district play begins. Some coaches like it in the tail end of the regular season, so you maybe have an extra week to get healthy before the playoffs. This schedule, I'm sure, was set before you took over, but how do you like the bye right here in between district play and non-district play?
I like it. That's kind of what, I'm used to. Coming from Lincoln is kind of in the same spot. So gives you, like you said, gives you a chance to get some guys healthy and to refresh on some things that maybe you're struggling with before you enter district play. Starts a whole new season, so you kind of get that break before you start your new season.
On Friday, where you typically would have a game, Coach, what do you do? Do you go out and scout? Do you give the kids the night off? What do you do Friday night?
Well, depending on how these guys work this week, we may give them Friday off. I'll definitely be watching one game or another on Friday night, and my coaches will go out and probably watch some games on Friday night as well. So we'll use it a preparation day for us and kind of give the kids a day off to refresh and kind of get going before they come in on Monday.
And that was Garrett Coach Crutchfield. Now let's swing over to Boyle County. Coach Haddock, the score, again, was not representative of how close the game really was with your 18th win in a row, 35-21 over Bowling Green.
Yeah, I think so, too. I think Bowling Green's a quality team. I feel like offensively they did a great job, and defensively, too. They made some stops down the red zone on us. Part of that's our execution, but, a lot of that got to give them credit, too.
Obviously they were not going to let Tavy Quisenberry beat you. He did catch one touchdown pass, but if they try to shut down one area, then you have 330 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, we felt like they were trying to stay two high safeties and really stay over the top and bring it underneath. And with our guys, we said, well, we're just gonna run the ball. If you're gonna stay too high, we're gonna run the ball and go from there. And I feel like that's what we did.
Got another new wrinkle in there. Brock Driver running 8 times 41 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, getting Brock in there, we kind of found him in practice that, hey, he ran in practice. Well, if you'll run like this, we're going to run you in the game. And he obviously did a good job.
And, Cole Sims being out, that obviously hurts you defensively because he's kind of all over the place. And long snapper and wide receiver. But the good news is you lose him, but you got Jakey Tarter back. And, I guess it's going to be a matter of timing working in with Sage Dawson there.
Yeah, you get Jakey back and you lose Cole, and Lance Sloan stepped up being our long snapper, did a great job on, he's doing all our snapping. So that's big when you have another quality kid behind them to do that. And it just kind of focus on our depth of what we work with every day. We push those guys, and we're not just working the ones, we're working their backups and trying to get as many quality reps as we can.
One thing I know you've mentioned every week, you're trying to get Sage Dawson's percentage completions up 12 out of 16, 124 yards, no interceptions, 2 touchdowns. You had to be pleased with that effort.
Yeah, Sage is getting better each week. I feel more and more comfortable with him. I think he does too, about, hey, what we like, what we want to do. He's being smarter with the ball. Some unregarded stats that maybe he's not listed out there was, my thing coaching quarterbacks and coaching the offense and calling it is don't make a bad play worse. And, maybe the snap's slow, maybe he's this slow. He's getting the running back went the wrong way. Take it and get what you can get. And a lot of plays that, we had a chance to do that were a negative, and instead of him running around, he just went and got what he could. And we didn't have many negative plays.
Did you come out health-wise okay after the game?
Yeah, everybody's healthy, and we got to have another great week of practice.
And you got North Hardin. You got another big team. Tell us what concerns you about their offense.
Well, they got a really good athlete at quarterback. He can run and throw. They're huge on the offensive line. I mean, I'm talking they got, I bet, 300-pounders on the offensive line that really do a great job running the football. And then they have some athletes out on the edge that if they get it in space, they throw a lot of screens, they can make plays.
What about defense? What do you feel like they're going to try to do to you?
Defensively, they got some guys on the edge. They play a 4-2 box, try to be in a 4-4 to stop the run, and then they're big on the edge with their athletes outside that try to make it keep you in front of them.
Do you like to try to use the run game to set up the passing game, or passing game to set up the run game?
I'm going to take whatever they give me. Whatever you give me is what I'm going to take. I'm not going to go out there. Our offense can adjust to either. And obviously, I love throwing it. I'm a quarterback, love to throw the ball. But if you're going to let us run it, I think we ran it 49 times the other night.
Well, Coach, I'll tell you what I thought in the fourth quarter. I think that Bowling Green was tired because your guys looked a lot fresher and were moving quicker.
Well, that's what we want to do. That's what we want to when we're practicing and when we're selling things and doing is we want to be better shape, be more physical, playing than them. And, a lot of times that's what wins.
What about the special teams? What does the tape tell you about North Hardin?
Pretty good on special teams, obviously, with the athletes that they have. They do a great job. They have had a few punts blocked, but I'm sure they're shoring those things up.
And you have to be I would think very pleased with Cole Andrews' progression at 5 for 5 and extra points. Again, this is a big game.
Yeah, Cole's getting better, and then obviously, we're working with a new snapper now, so we're getting that timing down. He's getting better on kickoffs where we want to. Our kicking coach, Brian Dean's, doing a great job with him also.
Last question, Coach. What's it going to take for Boyle County at home Friday night to come home with another victory? You're 19th in a row, longest in the state.
I think just, always limit the big play. We got to make them carry drives back, long drives, plays after plays, and, then offensively not turn the ball over. Go Rebels.
Boyle County head football coach Justin Haddix about those Rebels 5-0 again, Rick.
Yep.
Getting used to this now.
Longest winning streak in the state.
I didn't realize that until Steve mentioned that this morning on our sports report. It's pretty impressive. 18 in a row, is that correct?
18 in a row.
See if they can make it 19 Friday over North Hardin. That's going to be a big one. North Hardin, especially in the past, had some really good players. A couple of them got on to UK and play, including Octavius Oxendine, one of the bigger players North Hardin had. So it should be a fun game there on Friday night. Coverage starts at 7 o'clock on Z105 WRNZ FM. Danville, Garrett, Anderson County all have a bye week this week. Christian Academy of Louisville is at Mercer County after 7 o'clock on 99.5 FM WHBN. Taylor County's at Casey County. That's a 7:30 kickoff, and Lincoln County's at Southwestern as well for a 7:30 kickoff. On Saturday, Northern Illinois is at UK. Our coverage begins at 5 o'clock on Z105, and Center is at Trine for a 2:30 kickoff there. I don't know where Trine is. Is it in Ohio or Indiana? I would think maybe. Trine, 2:30 kickoff there Saturday, and good luck to the Colonels there on Saturday evening. That's what we have for this week, and we hope you join us next Monday for the Pizza Hut Pigskin Report live from the Harrisburg Pizza Hut right here on the Hometown Radio Network. Detroit, Michigan. Go to Michigan for that game then.
Michigan. All right. Thank you, Robert Wagner back at the station. Thank you all for listening. This has been another live sports presentation of the Hometown Radio Network. Get out and support your teams of choice. Harrisburg Pizza Hut's where we've been. We'll be here again next Monday night. Large 3 topping, $11.99. Large 5 topping, $13.99. 734-5143. 734-5143.
This has been the Pizza Hut Pigskin Report, brought to you by State Farm Insurance Agents in Danville and Harrodsburg, CC Auto Parts and Service, Whitaker Bank, Jobmaster Rental, and Pizza Hut. Join us every Monday evening at 6 during football season for the Pigskin Report on the Hometown Radio Network and HometownLive.net.
This is WHBN Harrodsburg, The Rooster, broadcasting on AM 1420 and now FM 99.5. Now, the news.
NBC News Radio, I'm Brian Shaw. Two members of the House January 6th committee are introducing a bipartisan bill to prevent another situation similar to that day. Lisa Taylor reports.
Republican Liz Cheney and Democrat Sarah Rothbrown introducing the Presidential Election Reform Act more than a year and a half after the Capitol attack. It would overhaul the Electoral Count Act, a law that former President Trump's allies tried to exploit in 2020 to have him stay in power after losing the election. The new bill would make it clear that the vice president's role in counting electoral votes is simply ministerial. I'm Lisa Taylor.
Stocks are modestly higher to start the week. The Dow Jones gained nearly 200 points in volatile trading ahead of the Federal Reserve's two-day policy meeting. Many investors expect the central bank to raise interest rates by 0.75% or more to tame inflation. Queen Elizabeth is at her final resting place. She was buried in Windsor after more than a week of mourning across the United Kingdom and the world.